shopping, or even an emergency. Swipe, shop, and stack up those rewards. With Bank of St. Lucia Visa Credit Card, the more you shop, the more you earn. Contact 720-2675 or 729-2675 for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Bank of St. Lucia, all the bank you need.
We present to you Youth Unplugged. Youth Unplugged is a program designed to provide a platform for all young people who have achieved or are achieving success socially, economically, academically, in business, in music, as an entrepreneur, and yes, in just simply defying the odds. To share the experience with all of St. Lucia and the world. Their stories are theirs to tell, and RCI has created this platform of influence so that their voices can be heard. Youth Unplugged, every Thursday, 3 p.m. on RCI, the station that cares about the youth.
Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Youth Unplugged, brought to you by the Bank of St. Lucia. That's all the bank that you need. This afternoon, I'm joined with Miss Tris-Ann Richards. Good afternoon, Tris-Ann. How are you?
Hi, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
We like to have you. We like to have you. I think it's the second time this year we've had you. Is this second time this year? We like to have you. Understand? And this time you're coming to talk to us about something very, very interesting and dear to your heart, and that is
chess. Chess, not checkers.
Yeah, you know, I offended her a little earlier on. I told her that I thought, well, as a child, right, I thought that chess and checkers was actually the same thing. It's just like, you know, you see the board, and, you know, you see sometimes the board black and red, and I honestly thought it was the same.
The audacity.
Yeah, I mean, I really hurt
No
her heart.
offense to a checker.
But I was a child. I was probably 8, 7, and I got my first chess board. And I was like, Mommy, I don't know how to play this. And probably somebody gifted me the chessboard, and, you know, I didn't know how to play it, and I didn't have any interest in it. And funny enough, today, I have to ask you about chess. So you're literally going to be teaching me about chess this afternoon.
Yes.
But before we get into that, we have to know who Miss Tris-Ann Richards is. Yeah. So let's start right there.
Well, firstly, I like to say I'm a child of God, but on top of that, I'm very passionate about chess, and I'm so passionate about it that most persons assume that that's all I do, right? Chess is my life, but I am a dental hygienist. And of course, I'm the president of the St. Lucia Chess Federation, and I'm also a counselor in the International Chess Federation for Women's Chess. So I don't just do chess locally, I also am involved in chess regionally and internationally to help to advance women and more so black women in chess.
Okay, well, I like to hear that. So we need to dissect these things little by little by little. You know where I want to start? I want to start at the fact that you tell me you're a dental hygienist. What exactly do you do? I mean, when I say dental hygienist, is that a dentist?
You know, it took a while, because most persons, when you tell them you're a dental hygienist, they're like, the dentist, the assistant? You're like, no. So a dental hygienist, it is a specialty that practices preventative dentistry. So we always say in college, if we do our jobs well, you wouldn't need a dentist, but that's not true. But we practice preventative dentistry. We deal with every aspect of dentistry that helps to prevent you from getting a cavity, prevent you from getting gum disease, all these illnesses.
Let me just ask you another question. So if you want to get like veneers or something,
you know, I think you watch too many of them.
You know
TikTok
that
videos where they're
exactly.
shaving down the whole teeth. But I tell veneers is just a fancy crown. That's really what it is.
It's a fancy but expensive crown. You know, everybody these days has veneers, all the celebrities and names. That's why I ask you, if I want to get that, maybe I come and check Tris-Ann, and she just set me up on some.
I hear you.
At $400
I don't recommend veneers for young people. If you're older, sure. Or if, of course, you have, you know, a dental disease or abnormality that you really need some veneers. You don't need it. Don't even. That's the case that I personally recommended. But of course, most people will opt for them for aesthetics and to get that Hollywood smile.
That Hollywood smile, right? You know, a smile is always Brad Pitt. That's what we look. Anyways, Actually just got a message there asking me about dentistry. They tell me, ask my host a question. Anyways,
It looked like we're gonna have to get up another episode for that.
let's leave the dentistry for a second and let's head right over to why you're here today, and that is chess. So what I want to ask you is, what pushed you in the direction of even wanting to play chess? Were you like me as a little boy, somebody give you a chessboard and a thing and you just start playing chess?
Yes. Well, actually, I started playing chess out of revenge, if you want to look at it like that. So, I was at school and my classmates, I saw them playing chess, and I've always wanted to play this game. I watched movies and I've seen those rich intellectual folks playing chess, and so I've always wanted to learn the game. And my schoolmate taught me the game, and he proceeded to beat me several times. Now, if anyone knows me, I'm very competitive, and I was not going to let that slide. And so I started playing more chess so that I could beat him. And then I ended up falling in love with the game. Yeah.
Okay, well.
And I played chess for my high school, was only female on the team. I did it as an elective in college. It's been quite the addiction or passion ever since.
So can I ask, how long have you been playing chess?
I learned chess in high school, and I started playing here or there. So I have not checked, but it's probably about. I played on and off. I only seriously started playing competitive chess maybe about 4 years now, but I learned in high school. So I don't want to say I've been playing for 15 years because I really haven't. It's just
but
since,
somewhere
thereabouts.
Because I was going to ask you, how often do you play? Because I'm hearing that there are certain benefits of playing chess. And I'm not hearing. I had to read. Yes, I had to read. I always say that I try to do some research before we come into the interview, and I had to. And I heard that there are benefits, to playing chess.
So chess has a long history of being beneficial. Even the way it started out, it started back in Persia, which is today India, and it was a queen who wanted her sons to learn warfare. And so she had her wise men develop the game to teach her sons warfare. So even the very basis of the game, it's about strategy and intellect and planning ahead and working to beat the other side in a sense. But chess has numerous benefits when it comes to intellect. It's actually been proven to increase IQ. It's been proven to actually help to offset the effects of dementia on the brain. And of course, when you talk about the benefits of kids and on their brain, it helps them, it can help them with math. It helps them to make better decisions. It helps them to actually be better able to deal with losses. And these are things that have been studied and proven for over the years. So I always tell persons that I believe every child should learn chess. Of course, not every child is going to be a Bobby Fischer, right? But for their own their brain, the mental development, and help them to be better strategic thinkers and to develop the habit of thinking before they act. If I do this, what will happen after? It helps to develop those habits because it's been proven that the things that you learn in chess, you actually use them in your everyday life.
And I agree with you. Because I know a few things about chess. That, for example, there's a queen. I know there's a king. And I know that only certain, certain parts of the army can destroy certain parts of the army. Does that make sense?
Well, in chess, each of the pieces move differently. And actually, when the game was originally invented, there wasn't a queen. It was only after it moved to Europe, and then with Queen Elizabeth, she was so powerful, and that's when they put a queen on the board. So I always tell people, chess, it's almost reflects society in so many ways, right? You have a king and a queen, and each of them have advisors with the bishop. And if you check back in the day, the church played a very influential role.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, the king had his own priest and his own bishop or whatnot. And so it's same on the chessboard. And then you have your knights and your castles and your pawns. And each of these pieces, they move differently. And they work together to protect the king and to capture
so
the other.
If you were trying to sell chess to someone who never played chess before, like me, right? Because I'll tell you, I had to, and read something and watch something on YouTube and see how I could make some sense out of that. Because over the years, it has been glaring me in the face, but I have never actively gone and said, but let me take a try in that. I mean, I went to SMC, and in secondary school there was a small chess group. I know this year some young people went out to Europe to play chess as well. So I know we have a bit of a chess community here in St. Lucia. Do you think it's thriving? And
Yes.
I think we have something going on, but I have never actively played. So if you had to sell chess to me, what would you tell me? What would you tell me is a fantastic reason to play chess, one, and two, what exactly is the end goal of the game?
Right. So I'll start off by asking you, what organ you think is the most important organ in your body? And I know you might say the heart.
I was gonna say the heart, but I mean that's an interesting question, because as much as the heart is important, the heart can't work without the brain, and then
You think about it this way: you could get a heart transplant. It's easier to get a heart transplant. Not so easy to get a brain transplant.
Let's say the brain.
Yeah. Right? And so wouldn't you want to play a sport or engage in an activity that's actively helping to make your brain healthier?
I agree.
Right?
You know what? You sold me. I'm just joking. You're already beginning to sell me. I'm coming over to the dark side.
Yes. And on top of that, it's fun. It's fun. It's competitive. And you could think of it as that one sport that it's fun, but at the same time, it's making you smarter. It's making you healthier, and it's helping to make you better adapt for life and a whole. Because chess is a lot like life in many aspects. So I'll say that. And your second question was?
My second question was, look, I'm feeling like
That's all right. But I think you talk about the development of chess.
Not development, but if you had to describe the game to me, for instance, right? Because I'm understanding that you have some pawns. I understand that you have a queen, king, bishop, etc. And they move in different
ways.
They move in different ways.
Yes.
But if I had to just go and play the game, I feel like I'd still be lost.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, do you bring a board if I'm hoping you have a board in your car?
Well, well, I have it on my phone. And plus I always have a board in my car. However, the easy way to think of the game, it's a game of strategy and warfare. The basics of it. It's two opposing kingdom. And your goal, just like in warfare, is to capture territory and to capture the king. Because back in those days, they wouldn't kill the king right away anyways. Right? They would capture the king, and then either they come to an agreement and this new kingdom takes over the territory, right? But even in doing that, whenever you're going into warfare, you don't just roll up on the man and like, yo, I'm gonna come to take your kingdom, right?
No.
You're planning the thing. You understand what I'm saying? Right? I put in a little facts.
Yeah. You start from the bottom and you go all the way up. All right.
But so continue.
I'm getting it. Like I'm slowly but surely I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's my follow-up question. What strategies do you utilize to win the game? Or what would you do? Let's stay with you, Tristan. What is your strategy to winning the game?
Finding the best move in each position and having a plan from the start of the game. That's the best way to win the game.
You gave me no context. I mean, you're just telling me that. And what does
so
that
first
really
of all, it just as in life, if you don't have a plan for your life, how are you gonna win? You just get up every day and just today I don't feel like go down the road, or right. You have a plan.
I'm kind of that kind of person.
Yeah, right. You want to achieve certain things in life, so you start putting measures in place to achieve those things. And it's the same way in chess. All right, you want to win. Even before the start of the game, you decide how you want to win. So it starts with your opening. Okay, I'm going to pick an opening that's known to be more aggressive, right? I'm going to be attacking on the queen side or on the king side, right? I know that my opponent is easily intimidated, so I'm going to have a very strong demeanor, and I'm going to make my moves confident. It's like all of these things. That's what I'm telling you. It's a game of strategy. And then now, even in the middle game, okay, I'm going to use a lot of tactics. or I'm going to use positional advantage. So it really, how you win the game, and just like in life, it's individual based, right? And it's various steps that you put in place to get to the end goal. But overall, if there's one thing you follow, is finding the best move in each position. And isn't that in life? You
in
find
every
the
position
best.
in your life, you have to find. Yeah. You're 100% correct. Okay, so here's my last question with respect to that. What do you think is the most important factor in determining the outcome of a chess game? What's the most important? Because you told me demeanor, you tell me you're trying to intimidate people, you're doing different things, but what is the most important factor in determining the outcome of a chess game? Just like in football, I mean, you want to have a good striker. I mean, you don't want a striker like Nicholas Jackson, for example, Chelsea in the mud these days. I mean, you don't want a striker like Gabriel Jesus. No offense to the Arsenal fans, he's always injured. You understand? You want someone who could determine the outcome of a game. Most times in football, that's your number 9. Probably you want Cristiano Ronaldo in your strike. So in terms of chess, what do you think is the most important factor in determining the outcome of the game?
The strength of your opponent and your level of preparation. It's just like any sport, right? You just mentioned the names of some famous players. You know, if you have those people on your team, you're bound to win. And it's the same way in chess. If I'm going to go up against an easy opponent, or if I'm going to play you,
if you have to go against me,
there's
that's
no way,
just say that.
there's no way you're going to win. Like, you can't win. You understand?
I can't. It's like you playing Chelsea versus...
Why you hating on Chelsea?
No, I'm a Chelsea fan.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Chelsea.
okay,
Like taking Chelsea and playing against, some
local football club.
Yeah,
Right?
like going against Naya Bingi. I mean, you're talking professionals, semi-pros.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know.
So it your opponent also plays a impact, and also your opponent also determines your level of preparation. Because if I go and play you, I mean,
You're
I
mash
play
bro.
you blindfolded.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But also now, if I'm going to play someone who's strong, whether I win or not, it's dependent on my level of preparation. All right, what opening I decide to play, do I understand his style of play? There's so many factors. But in all of that, it's about finding the best move in the given position.
Okay, well, I'll take that. So I'm leaving here today with a lot of information about chess. So if I decide to download a game on my phone, I'll probably add you on iMessage. So it's probably chess and iMessage.
Yeah.
All right,
But I also like to talk about the federation.
That's what I'm going to know. All right. So
Good
currently, you're in charge of the federation. You lead the federation here in St.Lucia. What are some of the roles of the federation in St.Lucia?
Yes. And I'm very happy you asked that question, because I often have to let persons know that the Chess Federation is not a chess club. I feel most persons see the Chess Federation as a chess club. They'll come like, oh, I want to play, or when y'all meeting to play. And I always have to remind them, it's just like a football association. Right? You don't just randomly go and join the football association. The football association helps with the development of football and the clubs and so on and so forth. But you don't just go and join the football association. And it's the same way that the St. Lucia Chess Federation functions. We help with the promotion of chess, and we also help and create avenues for our players to play internationally, regionally, and for them to have the resources that they need. And of course, many other things. But it's important to know that we're not a chess club.
Okay. So, I mean, this year, you guys competed on the international stage with the competition that was...
Yeah.
What month
So
is
we
that?
had a chess Olympiad last year in India, and we did very, very well. We got a conditional candidate master and FIDE master, and then of course even the region. I think in terms of position, we were placed like 4th in the whole English-speaking Caribbean in terms of how well we did. And of course we're looking to participate in the next Olympiad, which will be in Hungary next year, and we're starting to prepare for that. We participated in the Alba Games earlier last year in Venezuela, and we're always competing in regional tournaments throughout, and we organize our own tournaments. But of course, there's tons of tournaments that happen that we would love to participate in, but of course, we don't have the funding.
And that's what I was coming to.
Yeah.
Who funds something like the Chess Federation? I mean, I could imagine the amount of flights needs to be paid, accommodation, etc., to get people actually out to participate in those activities. I think it would cost a bit.
So I would like to use this moment to give a special thanks to the Ministry of Sports, because they've been very helpful in helping to get us the resources that we need. Of course, they were able to direct us to the national lotteries, who've been very supportive of what we've been doing, as well as Lucilec. Last year to the Olympiad, Lucilec sponsored us, and I'm hoping, Lucilec, if you're listening, we're going to Hungary next year.
So you know that sponsor.
Yes. We are looking for sponsors to help us to get to the next Olympiad, that which will be in Hungary, Budapest. But of course, in the past, we've had assistance from a few corporate bodies such as Lucilec. We've had Computer and Business Solutions that have helped us. Am I missing anybody? And of course, national lotteries and it's on the tip of my tongue. I'll remember their name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Another business one, but a few businesses have contributed. But the majority of it we've had to go out. We've gotten a lot of assistance from the International Chess Federation as well, and we're really hoping that the local companies and business will be more forward into helping us go forward, because the truth is we have so much talent in St. Lucia. Just with the little exposure that we've gotten, we have been representing very well. And so if we're not able to fund and give our youths that opportunity to go out and represent, they'll never be able to express that talent and ability that they have, which is so important.
I'd like to hear that. You made mention to the fact that a lot of youth are part of the Chess Federation. What age range do you have within the federation now, of at least registered members?
So I think our youngest is probably around 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
But we have kids that started playing from younger, from like 5 or 6 years old. But in terms of member, I always tell persons, if you opt to become a member of the Chess Federation, it must be because you want to play competitively or you want to help us towards a goal, right? If you want to just play chess, then you could try to join a chess club, right? But when you become a member, it's because you plan to represent St. Lucia regionally or internationally, and you plan to help the federation with their goals and objectives.
Okay, so whilst on that topic, how does one become a member of the Chess Federation? Is there some dues associated with that? I can imagine, you're part of a federation that funds members, so I could...
Yes, of course. So it's fairly simple, and contrary to what most persons may believe, you don't need to know how to play chess.
So I could join.
Yes, of course. We welcome you as a member. But all you need to do is just complete a membership form, and you pay your corresponding dues. So whether it is you're a junior or a player member or an honorary member or ordinary member, you'll pay the corresponding dues.
Okay, well, like there's a
easy, right?
It's not a flat out fee. If you're young, you paid something. You get a little older, you paid something. I like to hear that. But where is the Chess Federation located?
So our office is located in Rodney Bay. It's where Coconuts used to be. I don't know, for those who remember
Coconuts, the bar, right?
Where that used to be, or across from Verve, or if you think of it next to Republic Bank, whichever directions you're better able to follow. The sign is on the door, so you cannot miss it, right smack in the middle of Rodney Bay.
Okay, well,
yes.
That's the Chess Federation, actually seeking funding for Hungary, Budapest next year. Of course, I mean, you have some local competitions coming up as well, I could imagine.
We're looking to, because last year, I'm very excited about this. Last year, we held our National School Chess Championship, and we had over 100 students participating.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
What school came out victorious?
We had schools from down south. We had Castries Comprehensive. Who won? I believe Dane Perlet won for the junior section, and I think in an international school or St. Mary's.
I would hope it was St. Mary's. I would really hope it was St. Mary's, because I know that over the years St. Mary's has a large chess community.
I believe it was St. Mary's, but I think international school came second and St. Mary's copped the first prize.
I would like to hear St. I don't know if we won for true, but I'm saying that I would believe, that's my part.
Yeah, so we had a really good turnout, and we're planning to have it again come next year in February. So principals and teachers, you could start getting your students opponents ready for that. But we're pretty excited on the trajectory and growth of chess, especially among our youths. And we're really looking to keep that going.
Okay, thank you so much, Tristan. I mean, the Chess Federation people, get your kids involved, please, 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 please. But I had to ask you a question about this. I actually forgot a while ago. You said that you are trying to advocate for more women to play chess, right? Currently in the Federation, I would imagine that you have a lot more guys.
Not just in the Federation. And I'll have you know, there are over 190 countries registered or that are members of the International Chess Federation. And out of those 190, only 10 have female presidents.
St. Lucia being one of them.
Well, yes, of course. Right, so just imagine that out of 190, and that is the case right across the board in chess. Only 10% of all persons involved in chess are women, and just imagine how many of that 10% are black
women.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people don't know, but back in the day, women were somewhat forbidden from playing chess because it is thought that women belong in the kitchen. And this was actually something that was said by a then world chess champion. He was like, you know, the women belong in the kitchen. They should not interfere with intellectual matters. So couple of centuries back, it was thought that chess is an intellectual game and intellect is not something for women.
Yeah.
And so that hindered women even being interested in the first place, and then they weren't allowed. And even when they finally started playing, even up to this day, they still face sexual harassment. They face psychological abuse. I remember one of the first game that I had, and when my opponent came up, his friends were mocking him. Hey, you have a girl to play, right? So it's right across the chess where it's almost like women are not as good as men, or women are not as smart as men. And if they felt that way about all women, just imagine how they felt about black women
At that point in time.
Exactly.
I mean, actually pull up a statistic here cited from 2021 that currently the World Chess Federation lists only 1,643 male grandmasters against only 37, not 370, 37 females.
Yep. And none of those are black.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We still don't have a black female grandmaster. And there's so many factors that are causing that. I mean, if I start listening now, it will be here for the whole day. But part of what I do is, I think representation is important.
I agree.
And fortunately for me, I've been afforded a good, I don't want to say a high position in the International Chess Federation, but there are persons or women who look up to me from all across the world. It's like, what? They'll see me and they're like, you're a president? You're a woman and you're this young? Because generally, to be a president of a chess federation, automatically people thinking a male, right? And so there's that stigma. And you're black, and you're a counselor.
We give them +1, we give them +2, we give them +3 too.
You're a counselor in the International Chess Federation. And so being a woman of color and being in this position, it is so important to encourage other girls like, yeah, you can do it. You should get involved in chess. Yeah, black women play chess too. You understand? And so that's partly what I do outside of my promotion of chess in St. Lucia. I help to advocate for, more involvement of women right across the board. Even now, I'm currently working on a project to get countries that didn't take a female team to the last Olympiad to take a female team to this Olympiad. And working with my team, I have people from around Africa, from Nepal, and we're working together to get that done. But so that's what I do outside of chess in St. Lucia. I always tell people I don't just do chess here, you know. I also help to spread chess internationally. But I'm blessed and fortunate to have such a platform, and I really hope to use it to get more people to know that chess is not just a board game. It's a huge sport, and there's so much opportunity, and there's so much more to it that you can get than what you may even know. But how will you know if nobody tell you or show you that side of things? Thankfully, the Queen's Gambit kind of show people a little, you know, of the action, and we're really grateful for that movie. But I really hope to create more awareness and to inspire more boys, girls, women,
Let's
across
stick
the
with
board.
girls. I want to
To
stick with
get
girls
involved.
because I actually got something else here saying that the gender bias is real. When women started to play, they were much lower level, and so all female tournaments started to get organized, and trying to exclude men a little bit, but I mean to
Yeah.
grow the female participation in the sport. So it's really interesting that you'd say that, and probably we need to go to places like St. Joseph's Convent, probably places like Ave Maria, and get these young ladies to get some sort of interest in the sport.
Yes.
We have just run out of time. I want to say thank you so much, Tristan, for coming in today. Of course, shout out to the Chess Federation, the local Chess Federation, making moves for next year. Hungary, we're looking for some sort of funding. We need that funding. I mean, you can also shout out all the individuals who are sponsored before corporate, and I mean, certainly probably has some individuals themselves helping to get some people across the border, and it's interesting. I mean, I wish you the best for next year. Hopefully, we see you again before you disappear. You don't represent, and I mean, thanks again for coming in today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. And I just want to mention the sponsor is J Burgas.
You remember now?
Thank you, J Burgas. And of course, I look forward to always coming and spreading information. Maybe next time we could do dentistry. Who knows?
And maybe
Who
next
knows?
time you'll actually teach me something. If my moves and so forth.
Definitely. Up your game a bit,
You know I'll lose. You're just looking for somebody to give a hit. And I
Thank you
think
very
that'll
much.
be me. Guys, thank you so much for coming in today. Thanks to the Bank of St. Lucia making it possible. This has been another edition of Youth Unplugged, brought to you by the Bank of St. Lucia. That is all the bank you need.
Get more value with the Bank of St. Lucia Visa credit card. Quick approval, 0 interest for 30 days, and earn points to shop